everybody. Welcome to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream.
Would you like to be our celebrity guest reporter for FanX, the 19th and 20th down at the Salt Palace?
Would you?
Did you know, by the way, this is like the third biggest fan convention in the nation?
I had no idea.
And if you're talking per capita, we crush everybody.
I had no idea.
Take that, San Diego.
Why?
Because we're awesome. I don't know. It's cool here.
Okay.
We get a lot of really fun people. Ooh, this month it's really fun. They've got John Cleese, who just signed for it, which I'm very, very excited. Zachary Levi's coming back, and this is cool because he's right in the middle of promoting Shazam. So that's...
Who is showing today, though?
Oh, this is Karl Urban. He was here last year, and he's wonderfully, wonderfully funny.
He's a good speaker.
He talks about hanging out with J.J. Abrams, the director of Star Trek, and J.J. laughing about killing off Chris Hemsworth, which is just sort of evil.
Well, he plays the doctor on
Yeah, McCoy.
Yeah, McCoy, which I thought he did an incredible job at.
Anyway, here's a little bit.
Great. All right, you guys know the deal. How are you? Salt Lake. Blowing my mind right now. You guys are amazing. It is so fantastic to be here, and thank you to FanX for inviting me back. It was 4 years ago since I was here last, and thank you. Yeah, every time I'm here, I think I have got to come and spend more time here because this place is really rad. How you guys doing today? You good? Are you out of your Vulcan minds? Excellent. So what should we talk about? You please, just if you have a question or anything you'd like to discuss, step up to the microphone and I will lie my weaselly black guts out.
Hi, Carl.
Hey, how are you?
Good. My question for you is, looking at your body of work, do you have you ever taken a job that you wish you hadn't taken?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Thank you for your question. You didn't ask me what it was. Yeah, no, absolutely I have. But I really can't tell you what that job was. Yeah, there have been jobs that have been a little tougher than I'd anticipated. I loved working on Almost Human. Almost Human was a gas. I loved Michael Lehi and that cast were amazing to work with, but we ended up shooting that 6 days a week, 16 or 17 hours a day. I don't like to work that hard. Nobody should work that hard. It's always a leap of faith when you do a job. You never quite know what it's going to be like. But I've been blessed that many of the experiences that I've had have been fantastic, and I've worked with some truly amazing people. So yeah, thank you for your question. Very good. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
So, my name's Elizabeth, and
Correct.
You are one of my all-time favorite actors, and you've had some amazing roles in the past, and I was wondering, how do you choose the roles you want to audition for and hopefully get?
Well, it really depends. I mean, you get to a certain point in your career and you get offered stuff, and that's really fantastic. I think the stuff that you really want to go for, you have to audition for. I think I auditioned for Bones for Star Trek, and that was a pretty, that was a pretty amazing experience. Like, I heard they were doing a reboot, and I really wanted to be a part of it, and so I went and met with J.J. Abrams, and I thought the meeting went so bad, because I went in there and sat down, and we did a little small talk for a bit. Actually, we took the piss out of Dominic Monaghan, who J.J. had just killed and lost, and so we had a laugh about that. And so then he sat there and he said, well, do you have any questions? And I said, yeah, what's the story? What's the script? Because I hadn't read it, they weren't giving it out. And he goes, I can't tell you. And I was like, oh, I guess I've got no questions. So he sat there looking at me, and I was looking at him. He goes, well, thank you very much. And I walked out of there going, oh man, I really blew that. But thankfully, I got asked to come back and read for the character of Bones. So I went into the audition room. Again, we chit-chatted, took the piss out of Dominic Monaghan, so we had a good thing going there. started doing the reading, and all of a sudden I hear this laughter. I'm thinking, what the heck is that? And I suddenly realized it was JJ, and he was laughing at what I was doing. And I hadn't done theatre for a long time, and I wasn't used to it. And it kind of almost threw me. I almost forgot my next line. But I got to the end of it, and he was like, "Oh my God, that's it. That's Bones." And he goes, "Well, I guess you better do it again." I did it again. He thanked me. I walked out within 1 hour. Like, you're on the ship. Sweet. Yeah, thank you. And I feel so blessed to be a part of that group. Just such a wonderful, talented, funny group of people, and we really are like a family. And we would be really blessed if we get to make another Star Trek. Fingers crossed. Start your letter writing campaign now to Paramount. Yeah. Thank you very much for your question.
Hey, I'm Mike.
Hey man, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. Firstly, Dread.
Yeah.
Thank you. You did it right. Lifelong fan of Dread, and it's been screwed up before. It was perfect. Is there any truth to the rumor of a sequel or TV show?
Yeah, look, the guys who own the rights to Dread, Rebellion, have developed a television series called Mega City 1. And I've had some preliminary discussions with them. If they get it off the ground, I would love to come back and portray the character of Dread again. I think that there's just a wealth of really great stories, of Dread stories in decades of comics that just beg to be told. So we'll see. Hopefully one day we get to do that. And if not, then that'll be a little bit of a pity. But I'm really kind of proud of Dread that it's sort of become this cult little classic. No worries. Thank you very much for your question. Thank you.
Hey, Karl, thanks for coming back to Salt Lake City.
Great to be here.
You're the best.
I'm not going to argue with you, but no, you're wrong.
Well, my personal favorite scene in The Return of the King is when Éomer finds Éowyn on the battlefield. And my question is, regarding that scene, what was your headspace going into that, and how did you pull it off so perfectly?
Well, you know what? I just remember thinking, don't screw it up, because I had like everybody from Ian McKellen to Vigo, everyone had come to watch. So I was really quite anxious, and I didn't really think about it. You just did it. I mean, it was the great thing about Lord of the Rings is that they really went to extraordinary lengths to create Middle Earth around you, whether we were shooting in this glacial valley with Edoras that they actually built. I mean, it wasn't computer generated, so you would actually be in the environment. And certainly I remember that day, there was hundreds of extras, fighting and wounded and dying everywhere, and a big one of those elephant things, Namakai or whatever they are. And we had one of those. What are they? Correct. I knew that. I was just seeing if you knew that. So one of those things lying there. So I mean, it was very easy to take that leap of imagination and transport yourself into that world. So Peter Jackson was, without a doubt, one of the most amazing filmmakers that I've ever had the pleasure to work with. I mean, he's truly gifted and extraordinary, and so it's going to be interesting to see, where Amazon, as you know, has the rights to the Lord of the Rings. I think something like 3,000 years of Tolkien history or something like that. And it's going to be really interesting to see what they do. I'm hoping that they film it in New Zealand, because Middle Earth, to me, it's such a strong character, and it was photographed so brilliantly by Andrew Leslie in the first 3 films. So we'll see. Thank you for the question.
The Todd and Erin Daily Stream is brought to you by PC Laptops, with desktops and laptops starting as low as $7.99 with a lifetime parts and service warranty. They fix phones too. Go to PCLaptops.com.
All right, so how do they sign up to be one of the press people
To
with
enter
us?
to win, we're going to take 2 people with us, and you'll be with me and our incredible, brilliant camera guy, Mike, who can teach you so much more. I can teach you to stand there and hold a mic.
You can bring your cameras.
You can bring your cameras, your recorders, any of your own gear that you want to do too. It's going to be a lot of fun. All you have to do is just comment on the show today, like the page. It's pretty simple, and then we're going to pick 2 winners at the end of the week so you can get ready to go.
I now take you to Lehi. Lehi, the criminal center of the universe.
You had no idea, did you?
Tell me
Oh,
more.
well, think about it. You've been in a protest before, right? I've
Yeah.
done a lot of political protests,
Yeah.
and I've held
Yeah.
signs. I've done some of the standard.
Usually
chanting
everybody's
things.
really friendly.
Yeah, the goal is you don't want to.
You're not like there to like break windows. You're there to like make your point as a crowd, and you're chanting sometimes, and other times just going, "Hey, how you doing?" You're meeting everybody.
Yeah,
with
you don't.
common belief.
Nothing gets done if you're being mean and just trying to freak people out. If you're trying to communicate what your cause is.
Except for these people in Lehi.
Well, this is a group of mothers, and they brought their toddlers with them in strollers and, backpacks and stuff, and they were protesting their mothers for clean air. Utah Mothers for Clean Air, which is a bigger and bigger group here in the state.
Troublemakers right off the bat, you
Because
know.
you may or may not know this, but the
Yeah.
Wasatch Front was voted a F in air quality last year by the National Lung Association.
Because of our inversion.
Our hideous air. So they were trying to find a way that would kind of get attention in their protest, but be peaceful and respectful.
Right.
And so you're thinking, Molotov cocktail,
Oh, you know what I'm thinking?
throwing stuff.
Two women over on the bench, breast pumping, right, to throw everyone off, and then they make the big move. What was the big move the moms made?
Sidewalk chalk art.
Sidewalk chalking.
I'm dead serious. That's our bunnies right now, by the way, that we're fostering, if you're hearing that.
Oh, we'll talk about them later.
This is unbelievable. Sharice Udell is with Utah Mothers for Clean Air. She says, "We say please, we say thank you, we draw suns and butterflies and flowers."
Suns and butterflies and flowers. Secret meanings, perhaps.
And she says, we have clean air messages like Lehi kids need clean air more than they need cheap gravel. Messages like stop the mining operation, please protect our children. She said, we felt like this was confident that this was a safe and productive way to express our concerns because there's a huge mining operation.
Point of the mountain.
At Point of the Mountain, yeah. And
Everyone knows it. It's
major issues, yeah.
Makes the dust cloud.
But unfortunately, Geneva Rock wants to do a brand new gravel pit by the Homes and Traverse Mountain.
Right.
It's very hard to concentrate. Would you lighten up,
I'm
buddy?
going to go talk to the rabbit really quick. Hang on like this.
And this
Hang
is
on.
really sad. They said, like all mothers, we will do anything
Stop
we
it.
can to protect our kids' health. And we thought this was a peaceful, polite way to protest. Now, at this point, you're thinking, well, that's beautiful. Good for you. No. This is what they got back. Sergeant Bart Kirkham said, the city of Lehi doesn't think this artwork is innocent. There is a state code that talks about defacing property.
With
Especially when there's a cost involved of cleanup to the city. It crosses the line of what their protest is to the possible aspect
cost?
of criminal mischief.
We're talking about people on salary with a hose, right?
When the women said, what are you talking about? He said, this is a monetary loss because we have to clean it up.
With people on salary.
And
With a hose.
Not even an hour after they had left, the city had already had the work washed away. And the mom said, you really just spent city money cleaning the sidewalk when it was going to rain. This was Friday and it rained Saturday. And so they're saying, don't you think that's kind of a feeble argument?
Yeah.
And they said, no, this is criminal mischief. And if you do it again, we will be required to arrest you.
Oh, shut up.
For sidewalk art made from chalk.
Who are these?
Okay.
These are the who? Is this the mayor of Lehi?
This is the city government.
Oh,
who called the police and said
what the hell?
that these ungainly protests are costing us money to hose down the sidewalk.
Do you want to see what bad chalk art can be like? I will come down and show you.
I just thought of all the things that you can overreact
Chalk
to,
art.
and there are so many things. This is the one that you chose. You chose the most sympathetic possible group
Cheering.
doing the most benign possible protest. And this is the one that you're going to use as scofflaws.
I cannot believe that they didn't get maced.
Good for you.
Hopefully there'll be no batoning later. Something's
At
happening this
point, I'm
week.
beginning
Something
to
is
worry.
happening this week that no one in the world has ever seen.
This is so cool.
No one has ever seen. Are we talking about a new act with someone in Vegas? No. We are talking about outer space. We are talking about the actual fact that Hawking
Stephen Hawking.
had proven without it ever existing visually for us. And we're talking about a black hole.
The existence of black holes based on the displacement of space.
They have photographed one. They have a picture on Wednesday. They're going to come out with it. The gravity field is so strong, light cannot escape it. And that's been a problem taking pictures of it. And they use the horizon. What was the horizon?
There's a simulated vision. There's a simulated image they have, but
Event Horizon is a telescope network with 8 of those big telescopes. And they use them all at once and they focus in. And they haven't ever been able to penetrate this black cloud, which is part of the matter that's being sucked into the black hole. So cool. First time Wednesday.
Press conference Wednesday. I am dying.
I
wish Professor Hawking had been able to stay alive to see this. He would have loved that. Tell me that's not the coolest thing ever.
He would have gone, told you so.
Told ya.
Told
He
you
probably
so.
still is. We just can't hear it now.
All right,
good
new
news.
thing.
General conference, if you didn't get a chance to hear some of the news, this one I thought was really exciting for me. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints called their first African-American general authority in history on Saturday. It's Elder Peter M. Johnson. He was called as a general authority 70 during the Saturday afternoon session. He's one of the 10 new general authorities that was called. He was born in New York City, and he was previously serving as an Area 70 in the North America Southeast
There you go.
area.
Congratulations.
So congratulations. That's very cool.
This next story is troublesome in so many ways. First of all, it's the baby one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the baby with a penny.
It screams racism to me, but you draw your own conclusion, okay? Darius Hinkle was terrified. He was driving way over the speed limit, and
As
he
you
was
do.
moving very quickly down this road
Towards what?
towards a hospital because his 1-year-old daughter was choking on a penny. He had tried the Heimlich. The penny was not
come out.
dislodged. His daughter was turning blue. Any one of us who has ever driven our child to the ER knows exactly what this man is doing. We live by the University of Utah and Premier Children's.
Oh.
I would go 4-wheel over the golf course to get to it if I had
The
to.
curbs we have jumped.
Every one of us would. Well, there were police, of course, that flipped around and turned on their lights and started a siren and went going after him. But
You're not gonna stop.
your child is turning blue. You're not going to pull over so
Nope.
the officer can say, "Could I see your driver's license?" You're going to keep going. So by the time he got to the hospital, I guess there was 4 different cars chasing him.
They're geared up.
4 different agencies. So he gets his child out. He's talking to the people. Please, my daughter's choking. And they've got her in the emergency room. Doctor is working on her. And he, Darius Hinkle, is arrested by the police,
Right.
thrown to the ground, handcuffed, and
But
then taken to the
his,
jail.
his daughter is inside.
Now, the most important thing is his daughter is now safe. They had got the penny out. Baby's doing okay. And then, of course, the doctors had to call the poor mom, Denisha, and say, "Hey, your little one's okay. Dad brought her here, got her safe. This is what happened.
Dad's arrested.
Dad's in jail." And she went, "Are you kidding?" They explained what had happened.
Right.
So she went down to the jail to bail him out, and she's going, "Oh, crap, do I have
How much
money?"
was it? It was like a lot,
It was
wasn't
a big chunk of money. And there was a group of women standing there, and she's looking at them and looking at the police bail officer and back and forth. And it was the group of nurses from the emergency room who came down to bail him out because they said, "This is crap. Your husband did exactly the right thing."
So they bailed him out.
They bailed
Judge
him out.
will not sentence him to anything.
But you know what? If it had been a white guy, do you think they would have done that?
Don't know.
It was in Illinois.
Fleeing the police
I have
is a
a
big
real,
deal.
and I
It's
understand that. I do.
Yeah.
But any one of us who's had this child would, and I just have a
I'll
very
do the
hard time
same.
believing that the police would arrest me. But if you're an African American man, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'm getting carried away. But the cool thing here, and what makes this is tell me something good, is the nurses went down and bailed this guy out.
Got a message on Facebook about why I'm wearing the Boston Red Sox hat, and it's because I care, and you Yankee fans need someone to hate. And I'm here for you.
Okay.
Poaching. Africa. Southern Africa. Ooh. Rhinoceroses. You know, they just made the biggest bust for rhinoceros horns.
Good.
And this was $2.1 million worth at the Hong Kong airport.
Good.
It's used, they believe, so men can get erections. That's what dinosaur horn is. It's actually hair, you know.
Rhinoceros. No, there's a certain amount of elements that come from endangered species that have been utilized in black market operations as enhancement drugs.
There's Viagra. I don't know if you
That
know.
Viagra is super easy
No
to get at the
animals
store.
were hurt.
Every
during
doctor will go, yeah, here's a script.
Well, here he comes, the poacher, and he's going on to a very protected, the Kruger National Park, and he snuck in alone with a gun, and he was going after the rhino. What they do is they shoot the rhino, and then they saw the horn off, and off they go. And
So you have a
they
dead
make
animal
money.
that's an endangered species,
Right.
but you just cut off his horn. Great.
Well, evidently, the rhino had a friend, and it was called an elephant, and the elephant caught wind of what was going on, and prior to the shooting of his buddy, he went and stomped the guy.
I'm working really hard within my conscience to feel terrible right now.
When he was done with that job, which doesn't take a lot for an elephant, the lions
pretty quick.
came and ate him.
How did they know he was there then?
They found his pants.
Probably the rifle, because that's not real digestible.
I'm assuming the lemurs came out and mocked his bones at that point, and the mice came out and made fun of his cartilage. Just my...
It's like the circle of life in a really awful...
Right.
creepy way.
Well, it's like, when the lion is held up and the Lion King, except totally different.
It's more like
than that.
dangling the skeleton going, ah! Like that.
Yeah, so anyway... Don't
See,
poach. I
and look
think
how
that's
beautiful
our
this is.
lesson.
All the wild animals working together
Right.
on the preserve for each other.
I think we've learned some lessons today. Shall we run through them? Chalk art is not
A crime
a crime. Rushing your kids to the hospital,
should not be an arrestable offense.
not a crime. And shooting rhinos pisses off their friends. Which
I
are
had no idea
elephants.
we were capable of being so educational.
And you hate them if you're a Yankees fan. And I understand. I do. So you guys... and stay away from geese.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
we
yeah,
forgot
oh, yeah.
that one. That's a big one.
Ooh, okay.
4 important lessons today.
All right, you
One
guys-
show, 4 lessons. You rock.
I'm exhausted. You
I
guys
know,
have a
who
great
knew?
day. Thanks for watching the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. We're going to talk about those friggin' rabbits, by the way. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk.
I had no idea that teenage rabbits could be so irritating.
You know what rabbits do a lot? Yeah, you're right.
No, but they
do.
also spend a lot of time fighting
It's
in between the other parts.
Yeah, it's like they have an endless supply of rhino horn. Anyway, we have to go. And I'm going to do it first.
Time to go now. Let's just cut this off. Let's just finish now before anything else comes out of your mouth.
Oh, get off her. What are you doing?